Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bellhopper McCulloch YouTube channel, where we do all kinds of stuff. uh, I hadn't got a whole lot of videos filmed recently. I've been trying to just get the feeling better. I just hadn't felt good. That's just the way it goes. So, feeling pretty good today. We're going to try to get some stuff done. I fiddled with this a little bit yesterday because it was just he said it was just a running issue, a little easy running issue. That this saw right here, which is a Husqvarna 365, he said it idle fine, but it wouldn't rev up good. So I just pulled the carburetor off, cleaned it, put a few things in it, put it back together, got it running, and found out it has an issue. The screws are kind of weird on the carburetor, so that tells me it's probably had this issue for a while because they're backed out a bit more than they should be. I already have an idea of what's wrong with it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take y'all outside and I'm going to fire it up and try to show you how I check this. It's not the easiest thing to show for getting the camera in there, but I'll show you the best I can. So let's take it out here and fire it up right quick, and I'll show you what it's doing. All right, she's cold, so nothing changes. If I go right down here next to the cylinder, so I can kill it right there. So I think the base gasket is gone. That's what I think. So I'm gonna try to show y'all a little of this diagnosis. This is how I check for air leak. And if I spray around the cylinder and the carburetor and it don't die, I will try to shoot down under the flywheel pretty heavy. And if it's drawing down there, a lot of times it'll suck it in. And you can spray under the clutch too, but you have to pull the cover off and everything and get the bar and chain off. But right now, we're gonna check that. Let's go. Come on. All right. Here we are going. Wrong size. Here we are going. 1, 2. I don't think I'm going to put the screws in the box. I think I'm just going to set them on the table. 1, 2. The bigger one. Set the parts in the bucket. Okie dokie. Yep. Trying to decide what I want to take off next. I wasn't going to pull all this off here, but if I can leave the pull start cover on, I'm going to. because I don't need to pull start cover off of it really. That bush gun's got some wire on it, but this saw's been used. I ain't kidding. Ed has run this saw for years. Gene said it was his favorite one. So we just want to get in here and get I'm going to take this plug loose just in case I have to clean the cylinder up. This saw don't feel like it has a lot of compression anymore. And if it's been running for a long time with the cylinder gasket gone out of it, it may not be in the best of shape. I can tell you them bolts weren't very tight. I had the carburetor off of it yesterday. Like I said, I pulled it off and put some stuff in it. So hopefully nothing's going to get too crazy on us here. Come on. Off. Okay. Hey, I think we found a problem. Let me get this off here and I'll show y'all. Yeah, I'd say that's the trouble. Can you see the problems? Look right here. The gasket's blowed. Look right here. Blowed on this side too. Both sides of the gasket was drawn in. I don't know if that means this cylinder is not flat or what. But that's definitely a problem. This is actually an open port cylinder too. This is, yeah. Yeah, 365 with the bolt-on square intake. Open port cylinder. And it does not have a whole bunch of compression. Oh yeah, you can really see it. You can really see where it's pulled in there. It's been leaking for a long time. There's a lot of carbon built up on the piston. A lot of the powder coating's coming off the inside of the case. Y'all know what we're gonna do. We're gonna delete that gasket and put this thing back on here since it drawed it out. Probably what I ought to do is strip everything down and surface the bottom of this cylinder, but the bolts weren't very tight, so we'll see. Let's see if we can get this ring off here. Come on. I will check the end gap on this ring before I put it back together. Well, it actually isn't that bad. Cool. That's good to know. good news. So we might be all right with just cleaning it up, gluing it, and putting it back together. I'm going to take this out there because it's obviously dirty still. I'm going to take it out there and hit it with a little brake cleaner and just blow it off the air hose. All right. I wipe the top of the piston off with a razor knife. Go in here and clean it up a little bit. Trying to get the surface nice and clean and dry. That way our adhesion is more gooder. Kind of spray a whole bunch down in the bottom end. You don't have to be afraid about spraying a little bit down in there. It dries. It dries pretty fast, so if a little bit of liquid gets down in there, it's no big deal. It'll dry in a few minutes. And even if it don't, it's flammable, so it will burn right off. Yep. Old piston's got some wear on it. I ain't gonna lie. This saw's seen some run time. I don't think I got a piston though. I would probably just throw one in it. That's 48 millimeter. She's got some time on her. I think y'all can see this pretty good. I'll do like I normally do. I don't know why I sat down. I'm just gonna put a nice layer of Permatex Ultra Gray on here. This stuff does wonders. As long as you're not using alcohol, it don't give any trouble whatsoever. And even if you're using alcohol, it still does a pretty good job. I've only had a little bit of trouble with my Wild Thing on the bottom side, and I'm not going to attribute that 100% to the Permatex and alcohol, because it's not they're just not the most precise things ever built. And if you've seen my Wild Thing, it's not exactly a stock saw either. It has a lot of compression. And I mean a lot. It's got a removable head and all that stuff, so it's pretty hot. I'm gonna put just a little bit on this side too. I'm not gonna go all the way around this side, just the edges here where the gasket was blown. Get all my sealer off the threads and screw that back on there and just seat it lightly. Screw them on tight, the caps break. All right. Just a little shot of Earl. A little bit more. I cleaned the cylinder and all up so it's dry now, so I just put a little bit of oil back on it. The ring still got some oil on it too, but these are easier to take off than they are to put back on, especially when you got the muffler on it. Come on. See, it's not impossible to do it with the muffler on it. It is a little easier with the muffler off, but you can do it with it on there. I'm gonna go ahead and get my pulse tube started back through the rubber grommet, and go ahead and get your throttle cable started back in the throttle cable area before you go too far. The little rubber hickey popped up in there. Push her down. Try to get that thing popped back in there. There we go. There we go. Reinsert the screws, bolts, socket head cap screws, bolts. Should be snug enough. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and hooking this stuff back up right quick. Throttle cable and all that. That is basically what it takes. Getting these started. It's a little cumbersome sometimes when the muffler's on there tight. We'll get them though. Left-handed's a little bit. All right, now the one thing we got to do now, just to make sure, we're going to check the squish. Just to make sure it ain't overly tight. I don't think it will be. It's probably still going to be 30 or so. If I was guessing, I'd say 30 to 32. So we'll put our solder in there. Yeah. I'm gonna stick with my original. Somewhere around 30, 32, maybe 35, 30. Oh. 31, 32, 37. Got a little bit of taper in the squish band, which is perfectly normal. So we got plenty of clearance. Because some of our saws that we run, our race saws and stuff like that, some of the ones that I do, I run them down. I've got some that's as low as 13. I don't usually show the insides of them very much, so, because I don't want people taking them down there and they're breaking pistons and then saying, well, you said it was perfectly fine. I said it's perfectly fine for a race saw. So if you do it, it's on you. I'm just cleaning some of that jack off the spark plug. Not off of this end, just from around here and there. It was jacked up real good. So we're gonna screw the plug back in her, tighten her up, put her back together. We'll have to take it out there and adjust and macate it. I'm probably gonna give it a little bit of dry time. So get a few things done, and then we'll fire it up and check the tune on it and see how it does. All right, I got her stuck back together. We're gonna fire it up. I've give it a little over half hour to cure, so let's see if it actually runs now. It might. I probably have to adjust on the carburetor. Oh yeah, it won't even idle now. Hey, there we go. I run the low screw in. It's out 1 1/4 rounds now, I think. I think it just run out of gas. It ain't completely out, but it's low. You throw just a little bit in it, adjust on it a little bit more. Oh, I put gas in it. I just got to turn the camera back on. This carburetor is actually a little bit wonky, but it is a Sammer. Get the air filter and throw on it right quick. I think it has more than one air leak. Got a little bit of air leak in the carburetor. I think it's in the bottom of the throttle shaft. If I spray it directly, it'll dry out up there. Nowhere else needs to do it. Spray it right here. That's where it's at. There's a little bit of air leak right in the bottom of the throttle shaft. And there ain't nothing I can do about that other than replace the carburetor. So I don't think they want to go through all that. I'll probably just let them try it and see how it goes. It's got way less air leak than it had. It's actually tunable now. It wasn't before. So oh mercy. All right. Well, I'm probably going to stop for now. I got other stuff I got to get going, so yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right, y'all have a good day. Stay safe, be kind, treat each other the way you want to be treated. God bless. Remember, Jesus loves you. Bellhopper out.